Hello, Stampers, and welcome to your daily dose of stamping therapy. It is Monday, and this is my last card packet, at least like this section of card packets. I found like some other card packets that are like single cards that were like packets that I got from some of my team members. So those packets I will still do, but it's like one card each, and some of them I have the stamp sets for and some of them I don't, so those could get a little interesting. But this was like a fall card that is like a double fold. Super fun. This is totally not centered. I think I'm just going to chop some off of this side to help with that lack of centeredness. So let's see how much is on this side. Looks like a little less than a half. So we're just going to chop off a smidge. Maybe a smidge more. Still doesn't look centered. There we go. Now you'll never know. So, I'm not 100% sure if I want to do, like they were like get well cards with apples and stuff using the Harvest Hellos stamp set as well as the Apple Builder Punch. But I think I'm still going to use some of those pieces, but I don't know that I'm going to use Get Well. I think I might just do like the apple and You Make Me Smile. So we have the apple, and I need to remember like how I did it, which I'm not super concerned that it's exact, but we'll just kind of wing it. Whoa. The sticky saved it. Okay. Let's use our Memento Black, and I'm stamping the apple onto real red cardstock. I wanted to stamp it like the same direction that the punch is in so that it fits into the punch easy, and I think I did that. So I always stamp first, not always actually, but the majority of the time I stamp first, and then I line it up in my punch. So I hold my punch like upside down and then slide it in, line it up, and punch. And I got pieces flying everywhere. Hey Dana, welcome. So this I'm just going to toss. So now I have my cute little apples. And we're then going to take the little stem, and I'm going to stamp that in the same black, and it's going to go on some soft suede so that I can have little stems. That first one wasn't the best of stamped images, so I went ahead and stamped them like face down like that because that's how my punch goes. So hopefully that'll make it easier for lining up. So now I have all of my little stems, and I'm just going to attach them on the back side with a Stampin' Dimensional. That way I don't have to use anything like, like the fine tip glue pen or anything like that to adhere them down. Instead, I can just place the Stampin' Dimensional across and it secures it while also adding it to our card front. So I'm just going to add the rest of these dimensionals on the sheet because no dimensional left behind. So I use every bit of it, including that little outer edge. And again, you guys all know I'm a Stampin' Dimensional overuser. And this little guy is going to go on the front of our card. And I just kind of like, oh no, I did this one upside down. So this one's going to be a little interesting. And it's going to open down and then up. But it was technically supposed to go like this. Maybe I'll try to pull it back. No. I'm just going to leave it and it's just going to open a different way. So there's no problem with that at all. We also have this and some ribbon. I used the ribbon and tied like a little bow. So I might be able to add that. The original, I think I gave away. I'm not sure where it is. Maybe I didn't give it away. But it was this stamp set and this card was from a class last fall. So here's our little bow. And now I can just add that. I think I might do that with the You Make Me Smile on this little circle greeting. No, I think I'm going to do You Make Me Smile and a half an apple. I think the half of an apple will fit. Yes. So there's a little half of an apple, and I'm going to color that with my Stampin' Blends. So we're going to get Real Red and Light Soft Suede. You could also go with a green apple too, but I'm just going to do Real Red since that's what my card base is. So we'll stick with a red apple rather than green. Let me know in the comments what your guys' favorite apple is. I will say my favorite like eating apple is definitely a Pink Lady. So let me know what yours is in the comments. Maybe there's one that I need to try. I know like with baking, I think I usually use Granny Smith or Johnny something. I don't remember what that one's called, but so there's our little apple and our greeting. And that, I can't decide whether I want that to go like on the front of the card, but then it's kind of weird to have that. So I think I'm going to put it on this red flap, but hiding underneath like that, because that's super cute. And I'm going to put that layer on just regularly flat. Gala or Fuji? Okay, so I've had both of those too. What's the Johnny one, though? Isn't there one that starts with Jonathan? Jonathan apples? I think that's what it is. Not Johnny, but Jonathan. Also, let me know how you like to eat your apples. I'm definitely not a peanut butter and apple person because I feel like you like suck the peanut butter off and swallow it and then crunch the apple. So I'm not a huge fan of like the two different textures of food with apples and peanut butter. My favorite thing to do is just to take a bowl of cinnamon and sugar and like dip it in and then take a bite. I love doing that. So I think I'm just going to go with the simple little bow on the front of this one. And then it has the You Make Me Smile on the inside. And then I think I'm going to keep the inside of this one blank. Whoops. Goes like that. So we're just going to go really basic and simple with that one. But I'm going to do this one correctly. And I think what we're going to do for this one is I'm going to stamp You Make Me Smile. And I'm going to wrap this little bow around the card or around the label here and secure it with Stampin' Dimensionals. Of course, we always have the same question of the day as what is everyone having for supper? So let me know if you have something good. I don't remember if we've decided. We're having something with chicken. Surprise, surprise. But I'm not 100% sure if we actually decided what we're having or not. Which that can sometimes get tricky because then it becomes closer and closer to supper time and then we just decide to get something out instead. So I think I'm going to put this down a little bit lower, and I feel like because it's circular, it doesn't feel super secure as in my ribbon. So I'm going to add a mini glue dot. And then I'm going to add an apple like towards the top of it. And again, I'm going to add the apple with Stampin' Dimensionals as well. So this one's like this, and then on the inside down here, I'm actually going to do a half of an apple using a different punch. I'm going to use this punch instead. I might do another greeting on this one. So I'm going to punch this in Whisper White. And I might do both of these like it. And I think I'm actually going to do to an A+ teacher. I might be holding on to this card for a long time not because we don't have A+ teachers around here, but because I don't know if we're ever going back to school. That is super crooked. one was better. I don't know what I did with that first one, but I definitely just wung it a little too hard. Okay, to an A+ teacher. And then now I'm going to take that half an apple and I'm going to, ooh, so the original had this fun little thing on it. Let me do one of those. So it was kind of like, I remember it had like half an apple with half a stem, or I mean half of a designer series paper on the bottom. Hi Sue, welcome. So the original sample looked like this, and then it had a little piece of ribbon going across. Maybe we'll actually do one of them that looks somewhat similar to that original, but we'll never know what that original looked like because I already used that card. So I just secured my ribbon with some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back side, and I need a little stem. I thought I punched plenty of stems out. Oh, here it is. I think. Yep, there we go. So I'm just going to lay that little stem there and secure it with a dimensional. If you're just jumping on, welcome to Daily Dose of Stamping Therapy. Let me know where you're from or what you're having for supper tonight, because that's what we always talk about on Daily Dose of Stamping Therapy. And I want to give you a shout out and see who all is on. And I'm just making some leftover cards that I had packets for. I think we're going to do this like on the bottom corner, but I want to stamp this. Ooh, not that. You make me smile. And I have dimensionals on that, but I'm going to do the vanilla circle flat. And then this little guy gets a bow that goes across. So I'm just doing bunny ears and then tying a knot with those two loops. And you kind of get like a wonky bow in the beginning. But that's okay. Like, see, here's my little wonky bow. But don't let the ribbon win. Instead, push it around and force it where you need it to go. And if all else fails, use adhesive. So I'm just going to adhere this with some mini glue dots. So I'm going to add like one mini glue dot in the middle. Actually, I think I'm going to add 3, one on either side of that center one. And then I'm going to press my bow into it, and I might be adding a few more if I need to. Nope, I think we're all good. So I'm just going to cut off my little tails of my ribbon. Whenever you're trimming ribbon, I always like to kind of pull the ribbon tight. If you just like hold it there and let the scissors kind of munch at the ribbon, it's going to make your your ribbon like fray and kind of like not have a nice clean cut. So if you kind of pull it tight, then it'll turn out much better. And I totally realized that that is vanilla, and I did Whisper White with this. So glad I caught it before I put it on. So I'm just going to grab some vanilla and punch these out. And now I get to stamp that "You're an A+ teacher" again and hope to line it up well. Hi, Terry. Welcome. Okay, and then now we're going to go back to that half an apple that we have. And I am going to stamp that on the Real Red. And then even though it's a half of an apple, I'm still going to use my full apple punch to punch that out. And my cardstock is too little, so I'm just going to take a little scrap piece that I have here, add some adhesive onto it, and stick it to my finger, I guess. And then stick that onto the cardstock, and now I have like a little handle so I can line it up in my punch. And it's too tall. Try that again. So the awesome thing about this is I have a lot less fussy cutting to do, because now I have my half apple and I just have to cut that straight line, and it's much easier for me to cut cut lines than it is to cut curves. So I don't know about straight. I think I might take my soft suede marker and try to color in that seed a little bit just to darken it and give it a little bit more. Hi, Ladine. Welcome. I don't know whether I like that or whether I want to do an actual apple and then color it in. I think I'm going to try doing the actual one, and then we'll make a decision on which one we like better. So if you're just jumping on, welcome. I'm doing card kits. This is my last card kit in my stamp class tote that had all my extras in it. But don't worry, we'll still get on for Daily Dose of Stampin' Therapy and do something. I have plenty of projects in my mind and in my stash and everything. There's always plenty to do. So we'll get on and do something. But if there's something specific that you guys want, then let me know in the comments below. Okay, so which one do we like better? I'm thinking I like this one better. So I actually need to do 2 of those, don't I? But also don't forget that you can always check out my blog, laurastamppad.com, and my YouTube channel, which is Laura's Stamp Pad. And you can get plenty of inspiration and ideas, stamping tips and tricks. So much amazing information on there that I've created already, so you can check that out. But stuff is ever changing, so if you can't find it on there, or you want to know about something that's new, don't worry, just ask, because I'm sure if you are wondering, there are plenty of other people wondering the same. So so I'm always open to suggestions like that and everything. Sometimes I think like the simplest things that I do, and someone will point out at a class, wait, how did you do that again? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's so simple. And so I always forget to like share like the little tips and tricks on those things, because it's something that like I just do all the time and don't think twice about it. But it's a great tip to share. So let me know if there's anything specific that you guys want to see, whether it be a specific product that you're wondering what it's for, how it's used, or any of that, or if it's like a certain stamp set that you just need some inspiration on because you bought it and fell in love with it, but now you're kind of stumped, I'm always happy to help you guys on that. I'm also working on another virtual class this week. So my next virtual class is going to be using the Strong and Beautiful stamp set, and it's going to focus on Mother's Day cards and, well, if you know the stamp set, it's going to focus on fabulous women. So this is the stamp set, and it has amazing greetings. I absolutely love this stamp set. So yeah, I'm using that to make some Mother's Day cards. I like to send Mother's Day cards to all of my family, like all the ladies in the family, because even though they're not my mother, they're still a mother, and they're still motherly to more than just the children that they bear. So so I always like to celebrate Mother's Day with everyone, because being a mom isn't easy, and so we need all the love we can get sometimes. So there's that one, which is different from this one that we did. This one accidentally opens like that, and then this one opens like that. And it's not an accident. I did it on purpose, right? No one has to know. And then, of course, here's this third one. And I'm just going to pop the greeting on the inside here, making sure that it stays like behind that green panel, because I don't want it peeking out on the sides. So I think that this is very similar to what the original looked like, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So, super, super cute. That is all three of those cards. And I have some apple bits left over that I will be tossing in the scrap bin back there. And then I have one more project, some apple bits, and there's a lot of extra pieces. So I obviously did that card wrong because there's a lot of leftover bits. But now I'm going to do this card. And this one uses the stamp set Sailing Home. And actually, I've never used it, even though I have the stamp set. I know, it's crazy. I'm actually not 100% sure why I got it, but something enticed me about it, and so I ended up buying it. But I'm not a huge, like, water, sailing, beachy, lighthouse person, because I kind of feel like since I live here in central Illinois, that doesn't really apply. I know that you don't have to live next to a beach to do beachy cards, but still. So one of the other reasons why I selected this one to do with you guys today is because since I've never used it, I'm going to show you guys a little bit on assembling your stamps in case you have some stamps that you haven't used. So, of course, I've done a complete video tutorial on my YouTube channel, Laura's Stamp Pad, so you can see that there, but I'm also going to show you today on this one. So, I need to see which images I need. Hi, Beth. Welcome. So, it looks like I need the anchor image and some sailboats. Looks like both sailboats. So one of the things that I like to do is I actually like to keep this outside rubber piece. I do that because I leave the rubber piece inside and then I just puzzle piece my stamps back into it. Now I do that for a couple reasons. One, it helps for whenever I open up my stamp, all my stamps don't fall out onto me. The other thing is I'm a bit of a freak. Surprise, surprise. If you didn't know that, welcome. This is Laura. I am a bit of a freak. But anytime I do a class or anything, then I clean up the stamps at the class and count them. And before I put them back on my shelf back there, after I bring them back home, I count them to make sure everything is in there. This way I don't lose a stamp, or if I do, I know where it was lost at. So for many years, I used to sit here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, that matches the number on the front. We're good. And now, work smarter, not harder. I can just look at that back piece and see which pieces are missing from my puzzle. So I know this one is missing 3. And if it was nice and full, then I don't have to count. I can just put it back on the shelf and it's all good. Yep, I love it whenever things like that come to me. So we're going to take our sheet of stickers here and we're going to peel off the back, but we're going to leave the sticker on the sheet. So we don't actually want it to come off, but if that happens, I'll show you what to do for that too. So now we want to lay it flat because we want our sticker to be on the back of our stamp flat. We don't want to like place it on and then find out we went a little too tight and it curved, or we went a little too loose and we have extra or anything like that. Not to say that sometimes that doesn't happen, but this kind of helps eliminate a lot of that. So now I peeled off the back of the stamp, revealing the foam, and it's slightly tacky. And now I'm just going to place this down over the sticker. And so there it is on the sticker. And then now we just peel this off and we're good to go with our stamp. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with this one too. I kind of go down like at an angle, so I find one of like the corners or the difficult, intricate edging, lay that down first and then kind of go down. You want to sort of just drop it down and not like bend, pull, and push, because then that's just going to make the sticker like wrinkled on the back. And it's kind of one of those things that once it goes down, there's like no turning back. So it is what it is. So now if you ever peel off one of these backs and the image comes off. So I'm going to go ahead and peel it off. So sometimes I like to like stick it back down in that spot the best I can, like that, and we're good. One of the other things is like for little bitty images or like long skinny images, sometimes I peel off just half of it and then I place my stamp down. And so it's like that. And then now I just like peel it back and peel off that second half. And then, so it's kind of still floating a little bit out there, and I'm just going to set it back down and press. And so that kind of gives me that nice flat look. Like I don't want to pull it over and place it down. I kind of just want to like lay it there and then press down so that it sticks like right in that spot. Okay, so here we have our little card front. And this is actually a pre-scored card front because it doesn't have an entire front. So the whole card front is not there. It's only a half a card front. So it looks like there's 2 in this set, which is awesome because it's always easier to make multiples than it is to make individual, like 1,000,001 individual cards. So then we have some balmy blue that's going to go in the inside, and that's where we're going to stamp our sailboats. So we're going to kind of stamp them down on the bottom. I'm not actually going to put my cardstock down because I'm stamping on it, and if I make a mistake I can flip it over, but I'm going to like place it in my card here and push the flap down so I know not to have my sailboats go up too high because I want them peeking out down here. So I'm just kind of placing it there as like a placeholder, and stamping it down. And then I'm going to stamp the second sailboat just close by, so it kind of looks like it's in the background. I thought it went too high, but I was good. If you're just joining in, then say hello. Let me know where you're from. Let me know what you're having for supper, and just give a little shout out so that I can say hello and know who all is watching. So now this is going to go on the inside of the card. And then I have these pieces here, which I'm going to use as like little banners. So of course you can always use your banner, banner triple punch and just slide it in. But I'm actually also going to show you how to do it if you don't have the banner triple punch. So the easiest way to get those fun little banner tips, this is the Sailing Home stamp set. So if you don't have the banner triple punch, which I highly recommend because there's so many different sizes of banners that you can get, then I recommend cutting straight up in the center. So I cut right there in the middle. Maybe it's easier to see on this side. And then cut, ooh, it's really not easy to see on that side. And then cut from the corner to that center. And that was a hot mess of crookedness. But it helped to have that center cut. It's just really hard to see on this paper. But by cutting up that center line, it sort of gives you a guide to know where to go with your cut rather than like just cutting randomly and then having it be off. Okay, so now we get to decide which side we want to use, and then this is just going to go down on the side. I really like those. So I think I'm going to use those, and this little piece of crumb cake actually just goes down the side. So we're going to do little banner tips for this too. This is a little bit easier to do banner tips on because it's solid and you can see where you're cutting a lot better. And I just went ahead and did both ends of that. So I'm just going to add adhesive, and this is going to go along the edge of our banner. This one has stripes, so I'm just going to go right along that edge and use that to make it go straight. And then, so there's our one, and then I'm just going to use the other one. I think I'm going to use this one because the green for some reason just seems too much for me. Okay. So now we're going to add those to the card front. A lot of times when I'm adding something that's like, hanging off or like a part of a mechanism that goes with the card, I like to use tear and tape because I just find that it's stronger and I feel like it's better for something that's going to be like used and pulled on a lot more. So I just added two pieces. Hopefully they're close enough together. And they are so there we have our little banners. I probably could have scooted these over and had more of them show, but it's okay. This one I'm going to put closer to the edge in hopes to avoid that situation. But we'll see. This one I probably stamped them far enough over that it doesn't matter. So each one's going to be totally different. And again, no one knows what the original looks like. So you can just make it up as you go. Nope, this one's right there on the edge too. But that's okay. Super, super, super cute. Okay, so now we are going to stamp on this with the little lighthouse and then punch it out with a circle. So I'm actually going to stamp the greeting, which says, "Let hope be your anchor through the storm of life." And then the little lighthouse, well, it's not really little, it's kind of large. I'm going to stamp like off to the side, yet in the background, in balmy blue. So that coordinating blue that's just a hair lighter. If you're just jumping on, we're using the Sailing Home stamp set. And we already made some fabulous teacher cards with the apple. And be sure to give me a shout out. Also, if you're watching the replay, welcome to all my replay girls and boys. And definitely let me know if you're watching the replay too. Something tells me that this color is going to be kind of dark, so I'm going to stamp off once, if I can find some scrap paper. Yeah, I think I'm going to stamp off once. So we're just going to stamp off and then... Yeah, the stamp off was a good idea. Okay, and then I just need to punch this out with my circle punch. So I wasn't sure which circle punch I was going to use, but I went with the 2-inch. Hi Liz, welcome. It is beautiful outside. That warm weather is amazing. We'll probably be playing outside this afternoon and evening as our next activity. We've also been doing a lot of yard work lately. Pretty much ripping out like everything because it's like a hot mess. And the more we rip out stuff and find what's in the garden, we find so many more stumps and chaos, and it's loads of fun. But I can't wait to have it all done and then enjoy it. And if we're doing it now, when it's 50, 60, and 70 degrees out, we hopefully can enjoy it when it's 90 and 100. Okay, so this little dude is going to go right here, and this one's going to go right here. And then now we're going to take some of the Night of Navy and Sahara Sand Baker's Twine and tie a little knot or a little bow. And then use a little mini glue dot to adhere it down. Perfect. Isn't that adorable? Super, super cute. Maybe I should have got out this stamp set a long time ago. It is super cute, and it makes great man cards. And I struggle with man cards because I like pink and I like flowers. Let me know what your favorite things are to stamp with. Do you like nature stuff? Do you like to just stamp a greeting and let the paper do all the work? Do you like flowers? Do you like to make kid cards and like cutesy stuff? Like animals and stuff like that? Super, super cute. It's one of your favorite sets. I'd love to see some of your samples that you've done, Laura. Give me some inspiration so that I can do more because these are super, super fun. And then, of course, we did this one in the beginning. So that is all for Laura's Daily Dose of Stamping Therapy. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys got some inspiration. I hope you guys got a relaxing break away from the chaos that is going on now. And yes, definitely. I want to see what they look like. I need to see a few to kind of like get the fire started so that then I go crazy with it. And then heck, maybe I'll do a virtual stamp class with that one because I'll fall in love with it so much. So definitely don't forget to check out my virtual classes, laurastamppad.com, and then go to Laura's virtual classes and you can see them there. I'm working on another one this week for Mother's Day using the Strong and Beautiful stamp set. If you have a suggestion for another stamp set that you'd like to see me do for my virtual classes, then let me know in the comments. And my phone is saying low battery, so I got to wrap this up. So I hope you guys will have a wonderful day. Happy stamping. Love, hugs, and prayers to all of you. Stay safe and healthy. Bye-bye.